right, She-Hulk trailer's out. I'm going to talk about that trailer before I finish talking about Moon Knight. I do apologize for that. I'm sure that's really annoying for you. The reason is simple, is because I missed a couple episodes because I was either busy or out of town. And then I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll just binge the rest of it when it came out, and I finally did do that. Long story short, Moon Knight ended up being less interesting than Moon Knight started out being. Even now, I don't even know if I'm inspired enough to talk about the rest of Moon Knight, but a She-Hulk trailer dropped. I didn't even think I was going to talk about this. That's what my channel's like right there. I'm like Shadow from Final Fantasy VI. I hop in, do some stuff, and then I'm out. This trailer did pleasantly surprise me, probably because I didn't expect much from it. Let's be clear and let's address the CGI elephant in the room right now. The CGI in this show is... It's like, did Marvel lose all their fuck you Marvel money to WandaVision and Loki? I mean, even Moon Knight CGI was like, that is not MCU CGI that we were promised. So yeah, She-Hulk, when she is She-Hulk, doesn't look as good CGI-wise as we've seen Hulk look. At first I was thinking it was an Uncanny Valley thing, like the CGI was hidden more on Hulk, because Hulk looks like a monster who was a human, but because he looks more monstrous than She-Hulk, it's easier to hide CGI on him. Whereas She-Hulk looks like a muscular human who's green, so it's easier for our eyes to spot CGI on her. Then again, the age-tweaking CGI that Marvel's done looks better than She-Hulk looks, so I guess that excuse is out. Which, funny enough, Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is in this show, which raises a couple questions for me, because he seems to be Professor Hulk like he was in Avengers Endgame, but I thought he was done being Professor Hulk. I thought he was back to being Bruce Banner, because in Shang-Chi, the post-credit scene in there, he's back to being Bruce Banner. But now it looks like he's back to being Professor Hulk sans the arm brace, which means one of two things. This either takes place before Avengers Endgame, or I just have a lot of questions. Maybe they're bringing on some of that Fox X-Men continuity after they bought Fox. But also Professor Hulk being with She-Hulk, you have two very smart, self-aware Hulks, essentially. The contrast between She-Hulk and Hulk, and what I found interesting about She-Hulk, is essentially gone. She's less unique now. Because She-Hulk isn't just some enormous green rage monster super id smashing through everything. She-Hulk, when she is She-Hulk, maintains her super ego sense of self. I always found that really cool, that she gets that, but Bruce Banner doesn't. But now Bruce Banner does have that, so it's like, okay, well, She-Hulk's less unique now. Good job, MCU, in your quest to domesticate the Hulk. You made She-Hulk less interesting by contrast. Now, as I keep saying, we're in the deep cuts of MCU characters and, well, rather Marvel comic book characters. She-Hulk's one I actually do have a little bit of experience in, but that much. The 90s animation and Marvel heroes. Still making those references, baby. But I bring this up because of the comedic tone of this trailer and apparently the show. Like, the MCU has become action sci-fi comedies. They're very much comedies these days. She-Hulk seems to feed into that comedic persona that the MCU's been going for the past few years. But, unlike some other Marvel characters, She-Hulk does fit that. She-Hulk, from what I know of the character, has always been funny, sassy, and quippy, so the tone of the trailer does work. One of the things I liked, you just get a peek of, Tim Roth is in the show. Abomination, we remember him back when the Hulk was Edward Norton, back when Bruce Banner was Edward Norton. Also in that phase of the MCU going, we're not even an MCU yet. We really need to prove ourselves to become an MCU. Right now, we're just a couple movies with hope. But Tim Roth is super underrated, also very underutilized in this universe. We saw the Abomination in Spider-Man No Way Home, but it was still Abomination. I like the fact that it's Tim Roth sitting there, who then turns into Abomination. But still, I will give props to this trailer for the truest statement that was ever spoken. There's truth, there's justice, and then there is this. This is everything. When people are like, hey, can I swear on a Bible? They do it so they can just imply that they would be half as truthful as this statement right here.
Your ass looks crazy right now.
Yeah, you said it, lady. Look, in the end, She-Hulk, when I heard about it, I was like, I will see. But the trailer surprised me, thus I talk about it here. As much as I'd love to say, well, the CGI, they have time to refine it, they won't. I've been in that boat before. This is probably, when the largest movie studio on Earth is like, okay, we have enough to show the trailer, I feel like the CGI is about as done as it's gonna be. For me and all the MCU shows, there's always diminishing returns. As the show goes on, I have that perpetual feeling of this probably could have been a shorter show or a movie. If you do the math, it's like you're talking about a movie at that point. We'll see how it goes. I'm not expecting anything different from this show, so if it surprises me, all I can do is be surprised. Regardless, Tatiana Maslany, I think she's a great casting. I think she's gonna do a great job in the show. If for nothing else, we have a new show in which I'll do a video on the first couple episodes, then just bounce. Shadow from Final Fantasy VI, folks, that's what I'm saying. All right, so the trailer to She-Hulk, have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more. Fine. Hulk won't smash anymore, I guess I will. At least for one video. We're good, right? We're good for the next year of no punches.